What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Also, welcome to my favorite segment here on my channel, if I can even call it a segment, and that is Music Matters. Today we're going to be talking about the 58th Annual Grammy Awards. I tune into the Grammy Awards every single year, and let me just start off by saying this year was, I feel like, the year of the tributes. We lost some good ones this year. We lost B.B. King, we lost David Bowie, and we lost... Oh, my mom would kill me. I don't know his name. I totally had to look it up. Sorry, Mom. Glenn Frey. Now, I am a huge Eagles fan. I grew up listening to the Eagles along with multiple other talented musicians from like my parents' genre, even before my parents' genre. So this was definitely a tremendous loss to the music community. I mean, if you guys don't know who the Eagles are, you're probably too young to know anyways, but that doesn't mean that you should go check out the Eagles music. It is really important, I think, for even the younger generation to have some sort of appreciation for the talented artists that we are losing. I think, honestly, the biggest loss for me was B.B. King. I am a huge lover of the blues and jazz, soul kind of music genre, and so that definitely hit home for me. I actually got to see B.B. King perform live, and it was one of the most magical, like, heart-filling experience that I've had as far as like live music events. I've seen multiple different events, but I always think about that one for some reason. That one in Marilyn Manson. I saw Marilyn Manson. But yeah, B.B. King was a huge loss, at least for me, and especially in that genre. So that was really sad, but also really sad as well, David Bowie. David Bowie was such a huge impact on music, but it's funny because he wasn't such a big impact on music until way past you know, what the music that he was putting out. So it's always funny to kind of see like how music changes, or how in artistry and creativity, a lot of the time you'll have an artist or creator that is putting something out there and it's not, it gets like looked down upon or dismissed or not any credit or even not even liked until much later in time. So a lot of the time people are just like way far ahead of the game and super trendsetters for like way in the future, and that's kind of what David Bowie was. So that was a huge loss as well. So as far as the Grammys go, sorry, I'm just kind of like babbling on about like sad things. As far as the Grammys go, there was some really great tributes to multiple people, including the ones that we lost. So I did take some notes, and I won't be talking about every single performance just because there were obviously so many. I think it was like 2 hours long, and we don't want that video. We don't want this video to be 2 hours long because that's just crazy. So I'm just going to talk about the things that I really liked, and of course, if you guys, there were particular things that you guys liked, then start a conversation down below in the comments. And also, maybe we like the same things. I love to talk about music and artists and musicians and creators and everything. So I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about the ones that really like kind of like hit me, like so. I don't know if I'm gonna be talking about like people who won. I know I did that in my last Music Matters as far as like the CMA Awards. I talked about like who won and who didn't win and blah blah, my thoughts on that. I'm not really going to talk about that. I'm literally only going to talk about like the performances that I really liked, just to keep this video kind of small. Plus you can just look those up, and if you guys want to talk about it, then again, down in the comments we can talk about it. That's fine. So I'm just going to go into my handy dandy memos here and just scroll through the list of the things that I thought were amazing. If I'm going to talk about the Grammys performances, I suppose I should talk about the opening performances. The lighting, I'm sorry, like, side note, the lighting in here is insane because it was sunny like 5 seconds ago, and now there's this huge dark cloud coming. It's coming. Anyways, all right, so we have to talk about the opening performance because it's the Grammys and the opening performance, and that was Taylor Swift, and Taylor Swift, it's so hard for me to talk about Taylor Swift just because I do like her albums, and you know, they're fun to like kind of like dance along to and sing along to, like, for sure. I just sometimes have a hard time when I'm gonna get so much hate for this. When Taylor Swift is just so recognized for certain things, and I just feel like there are artists that can perform a little bit better. Opening for the Grammys, I think, was a great choice as far as, like, you know, getting viewers in. I think that that's great. God, I'm gonna get so much hate for this. I think that the backdrop for her performance was probably the best parts of the opening performance. Sorry. I'm sorry, Swiftie fans. I'm not saying that I'm not a fan and that I don't have her albums and jam along to her albums, but honestly, like, I think it's just because I'm like a country girl, and so I like her older country style. Not that I don't like her new pop style, because I do. I like her new album. I like the 1989 album. I listen to it when I'm at the gym and I need like some extra motivation to run. It's like kind of like, you know, keeps me going. But when it comes to a musical live performance, I just don't, it doesn't do it for me personally. So I'm sorry to the T-Swiftie fans. So the next performance I want to talk about is The Weeknd. Oh, The Weeknd is so amazing. It's funny because when I first heard The Weeknd, I was like not really so sure, and you know, I just thought it was gonna be like another like generic, you know, like meh. So I got the album. I kept hearing the song in the night, and I, like, every single time I was just like, oh, I love this song. Like, every time it came on, I was just like, I love this song. And so I went and got the album, and I love the album. There are some songs on there that I was afraid of that's just a little bit more vulgar for my taste, and a little bit, like, degrading to women. In a sense, there are some choice words that I don't necessarily agree with. However, the album I do listen to. I listened to a couple of songs on it. But what I liked about the performance is that he's very talented as far as like performing. And what I really liked about it is that, for one, can I just say, like, he looked so dapper. Like, he just looked like a gentleman. I mean, he looked really good. I feel like he dressed well as far as, like, the Grammys go. As far as the performance go, I feel like it was a little bit different. It was such a cool, like, twist on In the Night. It was so emotional, and I felt like he was singing the song to really, like, pinpoint the emotion that he put into the lyrics. Singing it, and I feel like he was really trying to tell a story in a more emotional way as far as like a radio version, and so I just thought it was so amazing, and I thought he did such a good job. Oh, I just want this to be like, is this better? Is this better? Y'all gonna tell me. I don't know. I feel like this is still dark, or is this dark? Oh. Did I really have it on that setting the whole time? I'm so sorry about the lighting. I mean, normally I would never be like sorry for anything, but I am sorry about like the crazy lighting. So anyways, it should be okay for now. Okay, so the performance by Ellie Goulding and Andra Day of Love Me Like You Do and Rise Up. Oh, if you guys didn't catch it, y'all need to go YouTube it. In fact, I will link it down below. It was so magical. Like, it was just amazing. Andra Day's voice is exceptional. I mean, it is just, it's so cool. And what I really liked is I felt like she was kind of like a modern day, like, 50s era, just like the way that she was presenting herself, or like her outfit, and even like the backdrop. But her voice is just so incredible, and I feel like it's just so unique, and I just love it. And as far as Ellie Goulding, I love Ellie Goulding hands down. I mean, she gives me so many feels like all the time. But those two performing together as a duet for both those songs was incredible. It was so amazing, and I felt like their voices meshed together so very well, and I just like really had like all the feels and like the goosebumps, so I felt like it was so good and I just loved it so much. So good job to them. I probably, honestly, one of my favorite performances of the night, hands down. I thought it was incredible. I was like blown away by their voices together. So good. And plus I love both those songs, so loved. One that I want to talk about, and I'm trying to keep it really positive, but one that I do want to talk about because I was a little bit surprised by this, is Little Big Town performing Girl Crush. At first, when I was listening to it, I was like, I don't really know how I feel about this. And then as the song went on and on and on, I was just kind of like, actually, I don't like it. I didn't like it, and I think the only reason that I didn't is, for one, they definitely did a different version of it, and I think the reason that they did that is because they've sang that song so many times. I mean, that song came out like a minute ago, and they've performed it everywhere. Like, they performed it at the CMAs, which was like a hot minute ago, and who knows like where else they've performed it. I'm sure like a gajillion times, and they were probably just like, it's this Grammys, like we've performed this so many times, let's just like try and like change it up and perform it a little bit differently. So it was definitely different, and I felt like not everybody was singing the parts that they normally would sing, and I don't know, I just didn't like it. What did you guys think about it? Because I felt like I'm always open to like different versions of music, especially, or just different in general, but I didn't like it, and I tried to like it, and I just didn't. Tori Kelly. Can we just ask, like, how did she not win American Idol? I'm just saying, like, I mean, as far as American Idol goes, like, sometimes it's just like questionable. I mean, y'all know that, like, you guys like watch, you know, when you watch like a show, like a game show of sorts, do you ever just like, you're just like, why? Like, I don't get it. Like, why is this person gone? Why is this person being eliminated? I just don't understand. Like, that's how I feel about Tori Kelly, but thank the Lord, good for her that she is like coming through and just like, you know, kind of throwing it in the face like, hey, like, I'm still here, like, I still made it without American Idol, like, she didn't even need American Idol. So her like vocal talents, I think, are so good, and I just thought that performance was so amazing, and I love that song, and I just thought it was so freaking good. I thought she did such an amazing job, and I just really wish that my hair was like her hair. That like super like bouncy ringlet kind of hair, like Wild Woman. I don't know, I just love it so much. Like, my hair I'd call like Mufasa, my Mufasa lion's mane, because it's just like a hot mess. But I wish that I could have her hair. But her hair aside, I thought that she did a really amazing job, and I loved her performance of Hollow. And I know she did like the duet, but I don't know who that other guy is, so I'm just talking about Tori Kelly. The one thing that I can actually think about was the tribute to B.B. King, and it was Chris Stapleton, and there were two other people. I'm honestly not sure who they are. I will, of course, put them down below as far as their names. But if y'all saw my CMA Music Matters video, I raved about Chris Stapleton. I love him so much. I think he does so much for the music community, as far as kind of almost bringing us back to like our roots as far as music goes, or like old like country rock soulful music, and he did an amazing job in that tribute to B.B. King. I just thought it was so incredible. His voice just gives me like the chills. I love his voice. It just really brings me back to like Lynyrd Skynyrd kind of music, which is my ultimate favorite. So I just really enjoyed that, and I honestly like teared up during the tribute because it was so good with the three of them singing and having it out on their guitars. And it was beautiful. I thought it was awesome and so talented and just so magical and soulful and all of those things. The last performance that I want to talk about is Lady Gaga. I have been a Lady Gaga fan since like before Lady Gaga was even Lady Gaga. Like, I've been listening to her forever, and I'm serious about before Lady Gaga. She was actually in like a two-lady band, there was two of them, and they had like a couple of songs that didn't really make it mainstream, but I've been listening to her since those times, and so I'm a huge fan of hers for so many different reasons. But her tribute to David Bowie, I felt like did a great job as far as being a tribute to him, musically and artistically and creatively, as far as like everything that was happening with like the projections on her face, to her costumes, to like she even did like some of the mannerisms that David Bowie had. I keep calling him David Bowie had while she was performing on stage, and I just love that. I feel like she really like tuned into David Bowie, and it was so obvious that David Bowie was such a huge inspiration to her, and you really saw that come out when she performed his songs, and I just loved it so much. Like, I'm getting like goosebumps right now thinking about it, because I was a huge David Bowie fan. So I thought she did a really, really amazing job, and she was playing the piano, like this piano that like moved, and the microphone moved, and she just is so incredibly musically talented on so many levels. It makes me sad when people judge her for like her maybe dress choices, or usually dress choices. Like, it just makes me so sad when people judge people by what they're wearing, or, you know, like just usually by what they're wearing. Like, if it's so musically or artistically or creatively different, people tend to just like ignore it and not like it and say like, that's so weird, I don't like it. But that just like makes me so sad, because if you just ignore all that, when you look at the actual artistry and talent of somebody, and you listen to like vocal range and what they're doing in their music videos, as far as like just like putting something new out there, or like the fact that she plays the piano like incredibly, I just feel like those are the things that are important, and the things that people should be like enjoying. As far as, you know, I just get like really upset when people are like, oh, like she wore like an all meat dress. Like, that always comes up. I'm like, who cares if she wore an all meat dress? Have you guys listened to her voice? Have you guys seen her play the piano? I'm like, can y'all do that? Because I can't, and I'm pretty sure you can't either, at least not like Lady Gaga. So I just get like sad when that happens, because it just doesn't matter. So anyways, I'm like rambling on about those types of things, but I just felt like she did such a great job as far as doing a tribute to David Bowie, and it was so amazing. Just like all of the things that I'm talking about are so amazing. So I hope this video isn't like boring, because that's like all I'm saying. Anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and close out with that little rant and ramble. I would love to hear what you guys thought about the Grammys and other particular performances that maybe you guys thought were better than others, or just that you guys enjoyed. Make sure to comment down below what your favorite performance was. I would love to hear about it. And yeah, I hope that you guys like these videos as much as I enjoy making these for you. I really, really honestly believe that music matters, and that's why it's called this. And I like to just every now and then kind of sit down and talk about music. So if you guys do like these Music Matter videos, then go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can be notified as to when I upload. Until next time, I hope you guys have a good day or good night, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!